Alright, she says that's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. We'll press that. You have no proof that Miss Guy called him there. That's true. You have no proof that she didn't. Mr. Edgeworth, thoughts? There's no record of a call made on the defendant, Miss Lana Sky's phone. She might have written him a letter. Come on, you could have tried public phone first at least. In any case, the victim came to the prosecutor's office where he was murdered. I'm sure he had a reason to be there. Witness? Why do you think it was the suspect who summoned the victim that day? I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. What kind of grudge? Well, I wouldn't know that. Of course you don't. That's because she didn't have a grudge. Rookie. I have a lunchbox here. Now, what's inside? How am I supposed to know? See? We agree there's a lunchbox there, but we don't know what's inside. A person's life is like a lunchbox with pretzels. Do you agree? I get it. That's why my lunch was so salty. This judge isn't very good with metaphors. The suspect had a grudge against Detective Goodman. Will you tell us your basis for thinking this? It's simple. Nothing else could drive that human machine to plunge the knife in again and again. A human machine? That's a contradiction. Please. Can't you find fault with something of substance, Mr. Wright? Note to self, Mr. Edgeworth's sighs smell like citrus fruit. Ugh, what? You say again and again. How many times did she stab him exactly? We often say chop into 1,000 pieces, but we don't actually mean 1,000 pieces. What difference does it make if the deed is done? How come she's getting mad at me? Let's just say she stabbed him several times and leave it at that. Leave it at that? This is a murder case, people. Mr. Wright, you should speak up if you have an objection, you know. Miss Stars turned out to be as short-tempered as she looked when we met her. Challenging her abilities as a detective really set her off. The short wick burns out the fastest. It's a scientific fact. I wonder, wouldn't it depend on the size of the candle? I mean, add more wax and even a really short wick will burn longer. What the hell? What are they talking about the candles for? Obviously, more scientific testing is required. Alright, so I know what I'm going to challenge here. Let's get to the end. Alright, again and again. That's it. There's only one stab wound. We remember that. Goodman's autopsy report. A single stab wound was found. Alright, we got her. Gotcha. Gotcha, bitch! You say she stabbed him again and again, but you couldn't have witnessed that. Are you testing me? Then I'll test you. With my moss surprise. Ugh. I'm afraid the moss is growing under our feet as we wait, Miss Star. Huh? What do you mean? I shouldn't have to explain this, but take a look. The autopsy report states the death was due to a loss of blood from one stab wound. Aha! You're right. Good show, Mr. Edgeworth. What a hunk. He's my hero, really. What about my objection? No one noticed. Well, witness? You got the crime scene set, right? Okay, thanks. I always believed that no one would ever mistake ketchup for blood, but now I realize that such mistakes are possible. So, you're saying you mistook something for blood? When she lifted her knife, I thought I saw blood at her breast. Spattered blood from her victim. That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice. Then tell us what you saw that you thought was blood. Testify. Okay. Her red muffler looked like blood to me. That's how ghastly the whole scene was. What the fuck is a muffler? A muffler's on a car. Well, I gotta press her on this one. I don't even know what that fucking means. Her red muffler? Yes, like a scarf. Oh! The chief prosecutor always wears one around her neck, so she can be easily hanged at a moment's notice, I suppose. She's right. This guy was wearing a red scarf, wasn't she? Okay. But wait, isn't it odd that you mistook that for splattered blood? Well, people often mistake my beard for a bib. A judge with a bib. That's why this place feels so much like kindergarten sometimes. Actually, I do think I saw some traces of blood on her chest. However, the autopsy report is clear on this matter. There was only one knife wound. Apparently, Miss Starr isn't entirely sure of her own testimony. Mr. Wright, this is our chance. Chance for what, I wonder? Miss Starr is short-tempered. Oh, it's the same thing. He's repeating himself now. That stupid Wick Burns bullshit. Alright. It has to be that last statement that I have to challenge, so hold on. Let's get to it again. Her red muffler looked like blood to me. That's how ghastly the whole scene was. Well, we have a photo. I don't see... Wait a minute. In the photo... And of course, keep in mind, it's 8-bit, it's blurry, but I don't see a scarf. Her scarf isn't on her neck. Look, it's her. I can see her bare neck. Let's object with that. That's my best guess for what it would be. Looks like I might have got it. Miss Starr, demand an explanation. The witness is clearly not suited for detective work. What? The suspect was not wearing a scarf or muffler of any kind when she stabbed the victim. And you've proved it yourself. With this photograph. Huh? But that can't be. Only a true professional would be so clueless. I'm sure you'll make a good lunch lady, have no fear. Harsh words, but good. In the end, Mr. Edgeworth prevails. What was my objection? Chopped liver? But it was there, a scarf. No, not that, but something red. Really? Well now, where were we? The witness has given us an entertaining interlude. Now back to business. What? Very well, witness. Continue your testimony. You saw the crime and apprehended the suspect. Tell us about that. Very well. I do remember some things accurately, at least. Ultimately, we couldn't shake the most important part of her testimony. The most important part? The part where your sister stabs the victim. This next testimony might just be the moment of truth. Alright. Apprehending the suspect. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition off to her side. I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. Ah yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. The chief prosecutor made to escape, but against Angel Starr, resistance is futile. What? You're quite determined about this scarf, aren't you? I strike like a snake and bite like a cobra. That's me, Angel Starr. That wasn't a very good metaphor. First of all, a cobra is a kind of snake. Don't bother me with details unless you want to get bitten. No thanks. Note to self, Attorney Wright gets bitten by snake. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. Oil drum? Hard to imagine. Oh, she's beautiful but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Roar! Very well, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination, if you will. Alright, let's push her on everything here. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition off to her side. So where is this partition on the floor plans? I'm sure she means the wall next to the car. Okay. There was a wall there about 6 feet high. She was obviously trying to hide herself. Quite a natural thing for a criminal to do. And what did you do then? I quickly caught her, explained the rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. Hold it! Hold it, bitch! You ain't even a cop! You say quickly. Were you close to the suspect? As I just said, I was only 30 feet away from her the whole time. Maybe I should press her for more details. Press her? I like to see on this floor plan just to be safe. The Lunchland car was... She was just a visitor that she was parked in B block. This makes no sense. So you witnessed the murder from here? That would make it about 30 feet from the car, yes. Is that correct, Miss Starr? Yes, that's right. But there was a chain link fence, exactly what I was going to say. I went over it, of course. Amazing! The coughing up queen, or the cough up queen, lunch lady athlete indeed. It would have taken her a little time to climb over the fence, so she couldn't have gotten to my sister that fast. Yeah, that fence was about 9 feet high, too. How come this guy didn't get away? Alright, so that's what I'm gonna have to push, obviously, or challenge. When I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. She mentioned the muffler? What exactly did she say? If I remembered exactly, I would have told you in my testimony. Cheeky. Anyway, all I heard her say was the word muffler. Just that one word? So what you heard wasn't the suspect talking to you, but to someone else? Yes, the chief prosecutor was talking on her phone. Her phone? You mean the cell phone? By phone, do you mean the cell phone discovered at the crime scene? Yes, ultimately. Ultimately? My memory... It's like a salmon heading upstream, you see. No, the court doesn't see, Miss Starr. The chief prosecutor first attempted to use the phone hanging on the wall. On the wall? That's right. Near the car, there was an emergency phone on the wall. Apparently it was out of order, and so she used her cell phone? Indeed, the emergency phone was out of order that day. Good witnessing, witness. Good witnessing? Whatever happened to good testifying? You should, of course, add this to your testimony. The things I do to please the rookie defense attorney. Cell phone updated in the court record. She gave up trying to use the phone on the wall and just used her cell phone. Do you think you could restate your testimony for the court? Aha! I was going to ask the same thing. I'll only say this one more time, so listen close. Here we go. The chief prosecutor stabbed the victim, ran behind the partition. She picked up the emergency phone on the wall, but it was out of order. So she pulled her own cell phone out of her pocket. And during that time, you climbed over the chain link fence. Then, when I boldly grabbed her arm, the chief prosecutor hung up her phone. And you saw her doing this? Huh? What is it, Mr. Wright? She couldn't have seen it. The wall was in the way. There's no way she could have seen that. Alright, let's press this one last statement. The chief prosecutor made to escape, but against Angel Star, resistance is futile. She made to escape? Can you be more specific? She brushed aside my hand and ran. It was a terrible sight to see, like a dollop of lard on a plate of foie gras. Ugh. She even kicked over an oil drum at me. An oil drum? There was an oil drum lying on its side at the scene of the crime. But it's strange. What's that? If she wanted to escape, why didn't she run the other way? The other? The car entrance. That's right. It doesn't make any sense that she would run from behind the partition to the oil drums. Excellent. More mysteries. If we could solve a few before finding more, though. So this guy tried to run. I'm sorry my sister is so suspicious, Mr. Wright. Not as sorry as I am, but she didn't do it. You have to believe me. Alright, I'm going to push her next to last statement, where she said that she saw her trying to use the emergency phone, and then... Here we go. I'm going to push that, I believe. Yes, this right here. This is what I'm going to push, or object to.